What's going on, guys? Byron here from ETA Wheels, and today we're going to walk you through just a little bit how to clean up the Alcantara. If you have a look here, we're going to zoom in. Have a look, you can kind of see it's a little bit matted through here. And now I'm going to turn it so you can see the side that you can't normally see. So now, take a look at that. You can see how it's matted down. Here it's a little bit shiny. It's just a little bit funky. So, because it's a little bit funky, we're going to want to go ahead and get that cleaned up. And I'm going to show you how we do that. Now, I've ordered the Sonax Alcantara cleaner. Unfortunately, I don't have any with me. It's going to be delivered probably next week. So we got to do the best that we can do, which is a little bit of warm soapy water, clean microfiber. You're going to need about 3 microfibers total. But this one, you're going to get it nice and wet. Squeeze it out. Give it a nice squeeze. Wring out as much of that as you can. And this is just regular dish soap. And you're just going to go back and forth. Give it a nice scrub. Don't be scared to get aggressive with it. You can already see it's starting to get much nicer. Yes, it is. It's already starting to clean up nice. And you're just going to give that a little bit. Give it some love, because this thing needs some love. I haven't cleaned this thing in probably about 6 months, and well, that's on me. So you're just going to give it, this is just, again, maybe a teaspoonful of dish soap and warm water. You don't want to use hot water. 1, because it's uncomfortable, and 2, you don't want to risk damaging the material, but you can get pretty aggressive with it. And as you can see here, it's getting it out. That's all me. That's all you. That's your skin, that's your oil, that's whatever you might have touched, etc. And again, we're just using a little bit of warm soapy water. You can see we don't have to get super duper aggressive with it, but when we go for the next one, we're going to be drying it, and then you're going to see a little bit more. The key is you're not going to compress it. You're just going to press on it and rub. There are some people who will tell you take your microfiber and, you know, wrap it around real tight, and yeah, I'm not saying that they're wrong. I'm just saying this is the method that works for me the best. And the cool thing is, since I'm using the camera here, I can actually see the backside of this easily while I'm working on it. So now we're going to just kind of scrub like so. Get the last little nooks and crannies out. Get it nice and cleaned up. The main reason I'm doing this right now is 1, again, it's a little bit funky, so it could use it. And 2, we're getting ready to do some professional shots here with the new interior and this beautiful paint. So if you notice, I'm going over the regular leather the same way, just a little bit of, the cloth is dried out quite a bit now, and the bottom of this is Alcantara, so we're going to go ahead and get some of that out as well. And again, you're just doing it the same way, a little bit of light pressure, nothing fancy. I mean, don't be scared. If you see a spot where it's really kind of matted, The bottom here isn't too bad because you really don't handle the bottom very much. You know what I mean? You don't really do too much with that. And then the leather itself, you're just going to want to, this is perforated leather, so less is more. Now that the cloth is kind of dried out a bit, that's why I'm going to just give it a quick wipe down. Then we're going to give it a quick dry, and that's it. This part here needs a little aggressive scrubbing. And you can see all of that stuff is coming out now, and it's getting nice and fluffy again, which is what you want. That's what you want to see. Okay. You can see here, I know it's a little bit wet. You can see it's still kind of matted, and we're going to go ahead and deal with that here in a second. But this steering wheel is about 2 years old now. And this is the most aggressively I've ever cleaned it. So that's not a bad thing. I know there's people that will brush their Alcantara after every single drive, and I'm not saying you're wrong. You can do that. More power to you. But most people, actually, you know what? I'm going to wipe that down too. That's a little, there we go. That's a little better. Anyway, so you can see this started life as a clean towel. You can see how much gunk has come out of my steering wheel. And again, this is just warm soapy water. Now we're going to take our brush, which my brush is still a little wet, so I'm just going to kind of dry it on my pants here like a heathen. And we're just going to give it a nice little, you can go side to side with the grain, you can go against the grain. Don't be scared of it. But you're just going to try to stand up those fibers a little bit, which is going to help it dry. And it's going to restore that, that Alcantara feeling. And now, once my Sonax does get delivered, I'm going to go back over it with the foam just as a quickie. But at that point, I don't even know if I'm going to bother with it. Honestly, seeing the results from this, I'm really surprised. I've never used the soapy water / microfiber method before, but I'm kind of glad I did. We're just going to get any gunk that might be in between these perforations out. Again, just a quick brush, nothing fancy. And then you can see down here where there's more of that Alcantara at the bottom. Oh, this is coming back just perfect, like brand new. I'm really impressed. I wish I had a little bit of a sharper edge. I could get all the way down into the bottom of that, but yeah, I mean, this is good enough for right now. I do have a proper Alcantara brush coming. Just make sure you get all the sides of it. Stand those fibers up. And remember, you don't really want to soak this because it's going to take, the longer you soak it, the more it's going to take to dry. And the better your chances are of screwing something up. Now here in the Middle East, I'm doing this first thing in the morning. It's about, 8-ish. 8 o'clock in the morning. It'll probably be dry by noon, but I can already feel and see the difference. It's standing back up. It's doing its thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a totally dry microfiber cloth, and we're just gonna give it a little wipe, remove some of that excess moisture. Because I used a pretty mild solution of soapy water, I'm not too worried about trying to remove that soapy water per se, as much as I am just trying to dry it out. We'll see. I may go back upstairs and get a fresh warm water. I'm not sure. Yeah, we're not pulling any more dirt out, so that's a good thing. And you know what? Just to walk you guys through the whole process properly. I'm gonna go ahead and go upstairs, and I'll get some clean warm water, and then we're gonna rinse, make sure there's no soap left in the leather or in the Alcantara sides, and then we're gonna continue with the brushing and get it back up. But you guys can already see that's a hell of a difference in it. You can kind of see I've got a little ding here and a little ding here on my my center stripe, but overall it's not bad. So we'll be back. Alrighty guys, so we're back. I'm not doing the time warp on this video because I really want you guys to see just kind of how long this actually does take. So this one we're just going to use a little bit of water. We're not going to soak the whole rag, and we're going to wring as much of this out as we can. So now this is just clean water, just to make sure all the soap is out. Don't want to leave any residue or soap behind. And this will get the last of the junk that may be in the fibers and stuff out. So I wasn't sure if I was going to do this step or not, but I might as well. I mean, we're already going through the whole process, right? What's another extra minute or so? As you can see, there's not a whole lot coming out, which is not a bad thing. And again, don't be scared. Give it some pressure. And you can actually fluff it up a little bit with this. I'm going to go back over the leather one more time with the slightly moist, damp cloth, just to make sure that we have left no soap behind. Do the same with the bottom Alcantara, which really wasn't all that bad except for right in there and right on the heels, this part and this part. But as you can see, it's going pretty good. Get all the little dust out of these. That's the only downside to perforated leather, guys, is you gotta get in between the perforations. That being said, I really like it, but I would never, for example, if I had seats, I would never choose perforated leather as a seat option because it's just a pain in the ass to clean. All right. So now we're gonna move to our totally, completely dry microfiber. And we're just gonna give it a squeeze, trying to squeeze out any additional water that's in there. All right. We're gonna do the same here, even though there shouldn't be a whole lot that got soaked up by that leather. It's better safe than sorry, right? So we're just going to give this the same. Now here we're going to kind of try to buff this a little more, get some of that fiber to stand up better. And again, we're going to be hitting this with the brush. So after we get it hit with the brush, we'll get it where we need it to be. But now it's almost completely dry to the touch. So now is the time when we really want to get in there with a brush. And again, you're going to do this brush cycle twice, right? So you got to figure out the direction the Alcantara is going and just work it back and forth. You can do circles if you like circles. There's no right or wrong answer that I've found. I'm sure there's some instant expert on YouTube that probably knows more about this than I do. And I'm sure for that person, he'll probably be right. This is just me. This is what I do. And you can already see it's working great. And this is without any fancy cleaners. It really not a whole lot of effort at all, if we're being completely honest. But you can see it's starting to get its luster back, its fluff back, which is good. That's what we want. Maybe I'm gonna give this a little more squeeze here. See if we can't get, there we go. So I still had just a hair of water stuck in there, but man, I hope that's coming out on camera. I really do. I mean, that is, you guys can already see how big of a difference that's made. And I mean, this is just, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes tops. I don't really know how long this video is going to go, but don't forget to get the backside. Always wash your backside, kids. This is a public service announcement. But you're just going to hit the backside and then hit the inside. And at this point, you're not really getting aggressive with it. You're just kind of giving it a little love, right? And once the whole thing is completely dry, you can come back over it again and give it a little love. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn it so you guys can see the bottom. Let me get the camera adjusted. Go ahead and get the camera adjusted a little bit. There you go. So now you can kind of see the bottom. This is the part here because I like to grab my wheel kind of here while I'm just cruising. So you can see here where my hand was touching it, and almost all of that has come out. Now the trick is just getting it to fluff back up. And this isn't even a special interior brush, guys. This is just a brush, a soft brush. That being the key. Now you can see I've got a little wear and tear here on the perforations. There's not a whole lot that I know of that I can do about that. I might try to come back and possibly sand that down with some 120 grit or maybe some 200 grit. I don't really know. If you guys know, let me know down in the comments. How can I clean that up a little bit? With my old seats, the seat height was a lot taller, and so I would ram my knee of my jeans into that, and that's how that ended up that way. If the wheel wasn't perfectly situated before I got out of the car. So, what you gonna do? But you can really see it, you can really feel the difference just in how the material itself feels. Just giving it that nice. And again, you can go with the grain or against the grain. Here I'm going to probably try circles. Whatever I got to do to get that little matted down part to stand back up. It's kind of working. And actually, yeah, it is. It's getting there. It's slowly releasing that gunk. And again, I'm not getting aggressive with it, but don't be scared of it, guys. Don't be scared to get aggressive with it. But always use the least invasive method first. And get aggressive as you continue. And I know it might seem like it, but I'm actually not really putting a whole lot of pressure on it. Just kind of giving it the love that it needs. This is the hard part for me because I can't really see it. Aha. But I can use the camera and get a little better view. And if you guys watch my new interior video, you can actually see, if you want a really, really, really good, super bright, in the light, see what it looked like before. You can't really judge it right now because it's not dry. So now I'm choosing to get a little bit more aggressive with it here. And actually what I'm thinking about doing, since I still have a little bit of soapy water here, let's see if I can't scrub out some of that dirt. Maybe there's a little bit of dirt or oil or something in there that's still in the fibers. See if we can't get that to release. And there was. So that's what that was. That's what we were looking at here. A little bit of funk in there still. And that makes sense, because I like to grab it here while I'm going down the road, so bottom of my heel will hit that. All right, there's that. Now we've got our rinse water, and again you can see this is not really damp. I mean it's damp, but it's just lightly so. Damp, moist, they mean two different things to two different people. I'm going to tell you, you want to just barely feel a little bit of water. And now you can see that fibers are really starting to stand up now. That means I've got all of the gunk out. So we're just going to dry it a little bit. Working it back and forth just to get that little... There we go. Look at that. See that? That's as good as new. Now, currently we're going against the grain, and then we're going to go back with it. You can see how it's starting to change colors now when you go with the different directions. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it's supposed. That's what it's supposed to do. That's the way it's supposed to look. This is one of those things that a car guy will notice, but a non-car guy may not necessarily notice. There's nothing against you if you don't, take your time to clean your Alcantara, but if you ever want to sell your car, take your time and do it right. Now, obviously, I don't want to sell my car. I just take pride in ownership. But yeah, look at that. It's really got its fluff back now. That makes me happy. Even though I don't really see this part of the steering wheel that often, I don't really interact with it that often, it's still nice. Sorry about the noise. There we go. So the leather feels quite a bit better now. It's nice and clean. It feels the way that the leather should feel. The Alcantara feels almost the way the Alcantara should feel, and it'll be dry here in a little bit. So we're just going to fluff it one last time, make sure all that junk is out of there. Look at that. Check it out. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys can see the difference. And this has been, I guess, about 20 minutes, maybe 30. I'm not really sure. Yeah, because the first section of the video was about 10 minutes. So we're sitting here at about 30 minutes, and you can see how much effort I actually put into this. It doesn't take a whole lot of effort, guys. And when I get the Sonax, I'll give you guys a video on that. What I'm going to do is just give it one final brush in this direction now that we've stood it all up. And we're not trying to mat it down, we're just trying to get it all on the same kind of look. Because once it's dry, it's dry. So all of this that's matted down, we're just going to continue to work it until it's standing up. You can see I've already done that here. This top just needs a little bit more love, not a whole lot, just a little bit. Give the back side some love. You can check it by feel if you can't see it like I can't see mine. Obviously, if you can take the steering wheel out of the car and take it upstairs and do it in your house, then you'll probably get a better result. But for the amount of time that this took, I think it's taken me longer because I'm actually walking you guys through it than it would take you to do it yourself. So that's it. We're done. We've got all the perforations cleaned out, so the leather feels absolutely amazing again. There we go. Go ahead and put the wheel back. And that's it, guys. That's all she wrote. So this is Byron from ETA Wheels, and you guys have a great rest of your day. Yeah, we started this video at about 8:15ish, and it's 8:36 now. So if I can do this in a few minutes, you guys can too. And again, I didn't buy any expensive cleaners. I didn't buy anything fancy. This is just a couple of microfibers. Alrighty guys, so I apologize, my camera actually cut off, but now you guys can see it's all dried. Here we are about maybe 45 minutes later. And it's all dried out, and it just feels amazing. The leather is back to feeling nice and buttery again. The Alcantara is feeling soft and velvety and grippy. So there you go. Again, I apologize for having to shoot on my camera to finish this video out. Right where the video drops out, I said all I did was use, 3 microfiber cloths, a brush, and some soapy water. So that's where I was going with that ending there. And again, I apologize, but here you go. You can see the finished product, how much better it looks now. And yes, that's actual carbon fiber. Anyway, this is Byron. You guys have a great rest of your day.